Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Stacks. I'm your host, Bill Stacks, and today I got former 1% club member, Bob. When you're like driving the spotter car and all that.
Oh, yeah. They used to put tools in my car and send me. I'm like, I don't know, man. So years later, after those German guys, because that was the reason that they were over in Canada that time, on the last interview, was their club. I think it broke in half, and half went black and white, half went red and white. Same thing there. So at that party in Britain, the German guys were there. So I got to see him again. I hadn't seen him since I was a hang around.
And now you remember.
Now I remember. And I would say, bro, yeah, it was really cool. Like all that stuff is really cool. So then, and these dudes, man, their bikes are fucking show bikes, right? Every bike that they're riding around for an everyday rider should be in every bike show, on every bike building fucking TV show. They're just beautiful. And the dudes are all big and steroided up and suntanned and tattooed and gold. I'm like, fuck, bro. I go, what do you guys do over there, man? Like, I need some ideas and bring it back to Canada. He goes, well, you know, everything you do in Canada, like girls, like marijuana, like, you know, he says all that you can't do, or if you do it and you get caught, you go to jail. He says we get a license and we're allowed to do it.
In Germany?
They're allowed to run a brothel.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think wherever they were, legalized weed before we did. So, you know, like all of Canada's legal weed now. As long as
down in what is it, Las Vegas or Nevada, right? You can have a brothel down there.
Yeah.
It's legal.
So they section off the red light district of the city, and they issue so many licenses for it, and you know, you do what you do to get a license, and you own a brothel, man. Why not?
During your time being in this club, do you meet a lot of other club members from different clubs?
Not too many. We had those guys, like I say, that ended up being Judas's from the Rock Machine that were coming down and hanging out with us. I knew some guys from a single chapter club, the Vagabonds, and I knew some other guys from a couple other single chapter clubs, and one of them ended up going, mostly all the members went red and white on the big that big patch over deal when they came to Ontario. So
have you ever heard of anyone false flagging and claiming to be with you guys and really wasn't?
There was a guy, he was for my time. It's just one of those street tales that that Willie that brought me up told me. The guy wasn't quite all together, and he put the whole colors and the Charlie and the lettering and everything, and said, I'm with you guys now. And they're like, you can't have that. He's like, I'm with you guys now. And they're like, oh, fuck, man. So they had to go and black it out on him, right? Jesus.
What? That's crazy. He went and got a tattoo of you guys' logo on his arm.
Decided he was an outlaw.
That's crazy. I've heard stories of people that had angel tattoos or, you know, different club tattoos, and they weren't involved with the club or.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Like, what's your end game?
Why would you do something like that? It makes no sense.
Especially if you're hanging out in a biker bar trying to actually sell that story to someone, and then a real guy fucking walks in. That's what always happens. Who was that guy? Who was that guy you had on today? He was a funny guy. The guy who didn't make it as an HA probate or prospect.
Oh yeah, Breeze. Shout out to Breeze. That was a pre-recorded interview.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't live. Yeah. But
yeah,
he's a great guy. He started his own club.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I heard him saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a funny cat. That's funny, eh? You spend your whole life wanting to be a part of something, then you get there and you go, "Fuck, I didn't want this."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how life can go.
So there's these two guys on the internet called the Twin Outlaw Brotherhood. Have you heard of
believe
these
them
guys?
idiots? Yeah, I got them on TikTok.
Did you see the new video that they posted?
Well, the one night they were calling out the Outlaws, and then the next night they were calling out the Angels.
Yeah, here I'll play the video. Look.
To any outlaw that think that they're going to get this cut, you have no balls. So sit down in your rocker and keep rocking. To any outlaw that think that they're going to get this cut, you have no balls. So sit down in your rocker and keep rocking. Hell's Angels ain't got enough balls to come and get this. Hell's Angels ain't got enough balls to come and get this. Hell's Angels.
So they're calling out the Outlaws and calling out the Angels. What do you think of that?
They're a couple clout chasing weirdos. Like I've been following them, like not tight. I've been following them since they started, and they just started doing videos out of nowhere, right? All of a sudden they made up their own crest, and then they all of a sudden they had cuts. I'm like, what the fuck?
They got 1%er patches on. That's dangerous game they're playing, I think.
Well, you can go on those fucking Chinese websites and order all that shit right to your house.
I know. I don't know why they're able to sell that.
I hate because you know, obviously what I follow and what I search, my timeline shows me up on biker stuff. And for the longest time, and this is the one that burns me the most, it's a guy that took, you know, support your local outlaws name and made a Facebook page out of it. Now he's selling outlaw support gear because it looks like his name's correct. It's got something to do with the outlaws are supporting them. Now he's getting fucking t-shirts printed, but he's putting the club logo that the citizens aren't allowed to have and selling them off online. So nobody's ever going to meet the guy. It's all that drop ship nonsense. You know what I mean? So you order from him and pay him, and some company in Malaysia prints it and ships it to you.
Oh, so and then you wear it on the street and your ass is in trouble.
Right. And some people don't even know the difference. And all this guy wants is $25 a t-shirt. He don't care. I don't know how many people have told him in comments, you're not allowed to sell this stuff because you're not an outlaw. And all that stuff and all those big clubs, even probably little clubs, it's all trademarked and copyrighted.
Yeah, everything belongs to the club.
Yeah, you can't use that shit. Yeah, so.
What do you think of the Outlaw Archives? The guy that collects all the paraphernalia, like cuts and things like that. Have you seen him?
No, but man, oh man, when I was in the club, they had that book with all them old photographs issued at that time. So when I was at a party in Michigan, I don't know, I bought like 5 of them and brought them all home with me. The cops fucking took them all, man. They were so cool. All them photos you saw through that movie, at the end of that movie, were in the fucking book that I had.
Really?
I bought one for me and one for a few other brothers and one for the clubhouse, right?
Yeah.
The fucking cops took them all. So there's supposed to be this famous photo from way back in the day at a Chicago Blackhawk hockey game. The mayor of Chicago, the boss of the Outlaws, and the boss of the mob from back then sitting watching a hockey game together.
Is it still out there, the picture?
I don't know.
Who was it? The boss of the Outlaws?
Yep. The mayor of Chicago and the boss of the fucking mob.
What game were they at?
The Chicago Blackhawk game was an ice hockey game.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, that photo apparently exists. Same with that photo from that picture book, with the outlaw riding the bike with the Hell's Angel on the back. That happened. That's a thing.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah, they were hanging. They were having fun.
I have a picture. I don't know if you've seen it with Outlaw, Mongol, Hell's Angel, and a pagan all together.
All standing, and it's all their backs.
They're all holding their cuts up like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because usually we would do it like when I went to to the bike week, there was a what's the name there? George from the Banditos, and
George Weggers.
yeah, and these two guys from the Sons of Silence, I believe, man. And so we would line up together so our back patches were in a row and take photos that way. So no faces, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of pictures online of them with their backs.
Yeah. Even within the different clubs' own website, they'll post some pictures up because, even down the road, if you post up a picture today and it's like, yeah, the cops already know I'm a member and what's it going to hurt, right? It'll come up in court somewhere in a bail hearing. Usually they come up in bail hearings because whatever the Crown says in a bail hearing doesn't necessarily got to be true.
So, I mean, you're not even a member anymore, and they would still bring it up if anything happened.
Right. Up until I got my pardon there 6 years ago.
Oh,
so,
you did?
Yeah, up until I got my pardon, they would pull me over in a random city like an hour north of Toronto, and fucking 4 cops would roll up to a stop for a speeding ticket or something, right? Yeah. So, and they were always like, can we get in your car? And it's like, no, man, I know my rights. You cannot get in my car. Well, just let me have a look.
Anything to try to, escape the law.
Because we don't have the same thing as you guys. We have what's called the Charter of Rights. I posted on the Facebook group. There's only 2 or 3 rights that we have in Canada, right?
Really?
The press, speech, and assembly. That's about it, really.
Like here, we have the right to bear arms, but I'm a felon. I can't even carry a gun. So that's out.
And we never could. And all these guys that are running for the federal election, they're all gonna clamp down on guns smuggled in from the States. Every gun that's used in a murder up here originated in the United States. Every one of them. And now they got the 3D printers too, and you can get parts in the mail and all sorts of stuff going on, right?
Are there a lot of guns up there in Canada?
No. The old saying, and the old Outlaws used to have the T-shirts that said, when guns are outlaws, only outlaws will have guns. And that's kind of how it's gone to Canada. If you're a criminal, chances are you got one. If you're not, you'll never, ever fucking even see one in your lifetime.
And that's the thing. Criminals don't follow the law. So it doesn't matter how many laws you have.
That's why
criminals don't follow the law. They're like, we're going to crack down on these laws. They don't give a shit what your laws are.
No.
They're going to do what they want. So it just defeats the purpose.
They're buying that gun to do some serious damage already. So like you say, change every law you want to, but if they want to have one and they got the means, they'll have one.
100%.
All they do is they drive up the prices for the guys who smuggle them into the country.
Yeah.
That's all it does, ultimately. They're putting more monies in the bad guy's pocket.
Definitely.
Because, and they've done a million shows on how they get here. It starts out one of those open air markets, a gun show, because there's less paperwork, apparently. And one guy can go to 8 tables and buy 8 items. And they don't take up much space.
Yeah.
And away they go in a car. Right from, usually from Florida, I think is what I understand. But who knows?
They probably come from all over.
I think so. It usually just takes one guy who's a backyard gun dealer.
There's quite a bit of shootings there too, right?
No, but I guess there is if you include Quebec, and they're part of Canada.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of a lot of mob murders up there. A lot of.
Yeah, they'll shoot at each other. That's for sure.
So you can't even have like a shotgun for like.
Yeah. That's the thing. So they had to give everyone a pass on shotguns and a normal gun that like a farmer would have, out of the farm for an animal's got to be put
like
down.
a rifle or something like that. Yeah.
Like my dad hunted. He had a moose, a 30-06 maybe. I don't know about long guns, and he had a 12. pump. I think everyone's got a 12 gauge pump. And he had another big gun, but like you say, they were for moose, right?
Yeah.
He shot at two things, either moose or goose. So.
But you can't have a handgun in Canada. No handgun.
Now you can own one, and you can leave it in your gun safe with a trigger lock, and you can take it out and put it into something out and transport it a certain way and go to the gun range with it.
But you can't walk around, have it on your hip, none of that.
No, but it's really, really hard just to get permission just to buy it. Like back in the day, pretty much anyone who took that I think is a weekend gun course and got their gun license. And then if you wanted to order a Glock online or go to the gun store, they'd have one for you.
Yeah.
And again, you can never carry it anywhere except for the gun range.
It's pretty crazy.
And you can't sell it from like me to you.
Yeah, they have to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They got to know who owns it at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Well,
yeah, man.
You got a lot of stories, and definitely keep them coming, because I'm always interested in hearing more from you. People are going to love this interview. I'm starting to drop the first episode tomorrow, matter of fact.
All right, cool.
Part 1 tomorrow.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's good, man. I really I worked it out. I worked on it real hard too. So nice. There's 9 episodes.
Well, we talked for a long time.
Yeah.
I think it was almost 2 hours or something that day.
Yeah.
It was hour 40 something. But yeah. Okay, bro. Well, I want to see what's going on with my son. I'm hearing some banging and crashing noises, and I'll go make sure he's okay with the doggies.
All right, man. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys go subscribe to Biker News Canada. Check out his book. What is it? One Night at the Playground?
One Night at the Playpen.
One Night at the Playpen. Go check out the book and subscribe.
And thanks for everyone who's been coming over and subscribing here from Stacks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've seen the numbers go up, and yeah, I appreciate it.
Keep pushing, man.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you. If you like the show, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. And if you don't like this show, too bad. Start your own podcast. Peace.